flowing out of space, screaming and kicking, or what? Just, oh, I'm in the vacuum, yay! No, I'm kidding. Okay. Hi guys, and welcome to Gary Reviews and to the next versus video that I wanted to make, and this is Aros, the Deaf Angels, versus the Clickers from The Last of Us. So guys, this is pretty amazing. I wanted to do that for a while now, and I'm very excited to talk about this awesome versus here because those creatures are both based on sound. They can only navigate their space and they can only find their victims with the sound because they can't actually see, as far as I know. Okay, before we begin the versus and to start to think about who is going to win, let us first read a bit about each of these creatures and see what they can do and what they cannot do. So, the monster from the quiet place, I didn't know that they had a name, but apparently yes, they do. And once again, this is Aros, if that is the way that they're pronounced. They're also known as Deaf Angels or the Angels of Death. They're the main antagonists of the 2018 science fiction horror film A Quiet Place and its upcoming 2020 sequel A Quiet Place Part 2. They're a species of a super evolved extraterrestrial predator that arrived on Earth on a number of meteors that landed on its surface and have since begun eliminating almost all life on Earth. Yeah, you know, that's gonna be a very cool versus if I also do Aros versus Alien, the Xenomorph. Idea for the next video, maybe? Okay, let's continue. They kill anything and everything that makes even the slightest noise, assisted by a sense of acute hearing far beyond anything produced on Earth. This combined with their indestructible armor allow them to massacre most sapient life on the planet, including a sizable portion of humanity, subsequently causing society to collapse. They are stated to be involuntary perfect, that evolved to withstand firearms and even the destruction of their own planet. So, like, the planet exploded and they were just flowing out of space, screaming and kicking, or what? Just, oh, I'm in the vacuum, yay! No, I'm kidding. Okay, they have abnormally sharp claws that are strong enough to cut through trucks and metal, and it's their main weapon for killing their prey. They're also inhumanly fast, able to travel miles in a minute, quickly moving to locations faster their prey can react. Due to their lack of eyes, the monsters hunt by sound. They are completely blind. They have sensitive plates lining the front of their faces that can extend and contract to help them gauge the direction of where a sound is coming from. The back of their heads are capable of unfolding into massive ear-like structures with pronounced slimy eardrums. Using these, they can detect even the most subtle of changes in sound as little as floorboard cracking miles away. The creatures also do not need to breathe, sleep, or even eat, and are able to survive in seemingly any climate. So why are they killing people then? Okay, and they're tearing them apart as well. An ability that the monsters also have is the ability to affect electricity, as seen multiple times in the film. Electronics such as lights tend to flicker in a monster's presence. Why and how they do this is completely unknown for this time. That was very interesting about the Aros, so pretty much they're unstoppable and only the sound can kill them. Yeah, I mean, if you watch the movie, only particular frequency, I think, can kill them. Now let's read about the clickers. In The Last of Us, there are several stages of infection, and one of the final stages is not the final, but there are the bloaters, which are the last stage. So the clickers and the bloaters, pretty much, we can compare those. We're going to talk about basically about mostly about the clickers, just because the clickers and the bloaters are the same, but the bloaters are just bigger and a bit stronger. But they're also clickers, they're just the tougher version of a clicker, let's say. So let's see the clickers. Clickers are the third stage of the infected and take roughly a year to reach this stage of infection. They have had prolonged exposure to the fungus and now possess strength that significantly surpasses an average human. This makes them deadlier, but at the price of being completely blind due to fungal infection taking over their face. However, clickers are able to maneuver through areas by utilizing echolocation, which produces noticeable clicking, scratching, screeching noises to locate sources of sound, hence their name. Like runners, clickers can sometimes be found in a passive state. That is the main thing about clickers. Clickers appear less human than runners and stalkers, with faces that are completely skewed and scarred by fungus developed from their infected brains. Ugh. The fungal plates have apparently adapted to keep the host pathogen alive and able to spread. As a direct shot to the face with a powerful weapon such as a revolver will more often than not just break off a chunk of the mold, leaving the clicker's brain unharmed but exposing the victim's face and rendering them able to see once again. Oh, I didn't notice that in the game. Clickers are dangerous and much more aggressive than runners, and like stalkers, they no longer resist the fungus because their humanity has been completely eliminated. They seem to have enhanced strength as they can overwhelm and kill Joe if grappled, and always succeed if attacking other humans like the group at the mountain plaza. Clickers also possess what seems like very high intelligence, never leaving an area when they have heard prey run by them, and it will constantly check every available nook and cranny to locate the source of the sound, with little regard to give up on the task at hand. When provoked, a clicker will immediately enter into a berserker mode, aggressively flailing its arms and roaring. At this point, if a survivor has been spotted by a clicker, the clicker will attack hand on and will not flinch when shot, unless the player is using high-powered rounds. Okay, anyway, so that is what is basically irrelevant about the clickers and the arrows. So who do I think it will win if those two are against each other? Uh, I think it's kind of obvious. But yeah, I think that the arrows is gonna win, guys, because the arrows is nearly, you know, well, indestructible, and for the clickers to hurt them, it's gonna take, I don't know how many clickers to just take down one arrows. I mean, clickers are obviously more powerful than humans, but still they cannot just bite them and chew on them. So I'm pretty sure that the arrows is just gonna run through a clicker or clickers and tear them apart pretty easily. I mean, maybe they're a bit tougher in terms of the tissue because of all the infection made them like harder. Maybe the skin is harder, tougher, but whatever they are, I mean, whatever level of toughness they possess, it cannot possibly compare, I don't think, to the skin or the surface or whatever you can call that surface area of the arrows. So I do think that arrows totally destroys the clickers anytime, anywhere. Yeah, I don't think there's actually any kind of a contest here. Maybe you can tell me something different. Also, let's say the clicker tries to infect the arrows. That should not be possible because they're so different than us, the humans. I mean the arrows, so they are probably not affected or cannot be affected by anything that is remotely human-like in terms of genes or any types of infection. I don't think. Let's say if the fungus though somehow gets to their heads, maybe then something can happen. But once again, it's earth-based fungus and infection, so I don't think that it could happen. But even if it does happen, the arrows seem like to be very, very well tough, to say the least. So they're probably gonna either remove that or eat it, or I don't know. But I don't think that the clickers are really um, any threat to the arrows. Even the bloaters, actually, though the bloaters are the fourth rarest and most dangerous stage of infection, as they take the longest to develop, taking years to reach this stage. They are covered in thick fungus that effectively acts as armor. Because of this protective covering, they can withstand multiple hits from weapons such as the shotgun and hunting rifle, making them extremely tough to eliminate. Bloaters are extremely aggressive but are rather slow moving, making them more predictable than other infected. Yeah, like clickers, bloaters see using echolocation to locate and trap a survivor because the fungus has completely deformed their face and blinded them. Their echolocation is a lot less refined than the clickers. If a bloater grabs a survivor, it will violently rip their jaw apart through brute strength or grab the player's head and smash it, killing them instantly. There is no way for the player to defend themselves if grabbed. The result is an instant kill. Bloaters throw sacks of mycotoxin, which explode on impact, spraying the targets with the toxin. The mycotoxin will hurt the player over time, so it's recommended to avoid these deadly clouds. Okay, so let's say that this mycotoxin, or I'm not sure how to freaking pronounce that, damn it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, mycotoxin. I never freaking heard of that. So let's say that maybe that kind of a toxin is going to be inhaled by the arrows and they're gonna get sick and die. That is just like a long shot, but maybe it's the only way or the only thing that can hurt the arrows. But once again, they're so adaptive to their environments, they can withstand the destruction of their own planet, so how the heck that's gonna affect them? But then again, you don't know what actually could affect them rather than the particular frequency that they're sensitive to. So we don't know their physiology beyond their weakness, and we have no idea. We can only speculate. So I'm very curious, guys, to hear what you have to say about this. I don't think it's very fair comparison, although it's very interesting comparison, but I don't think it's very fair to the clickers here. I'm pretty sure you can come up with something else that I just can't think of it right now, If you can, just let me know. It's gonna be a very interesting discussion. There's another verses that I have in mind. It's gonna be super awesome. Some of you suggested it and I can't wait to do it. And of course you can always suggest such videos if you like to see them, and I'm gonna see what I can do. Although I really prefer to come up with these ideas myself, but of course I accept any suggestions that you may have. So Aros, I think, is extremely original creature, similar to my previous video about the xenomorph versus Calvin. Calvin is super original to me, super unique creature, and there were some super interesting comments and discussions under the video. So if you haven't seen that one, you can check it out. I'm gonna put it right here somewhere for you guys. The Aros is one of the most original as well, so pretty amazing stuff. I'm super surprised in a very good way that in these days we have creatures that are that good, that original. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. As I said, you can check out the links down below for my OnlyFans and Patreon if you'd like to support me. Until next time with me, Gary G Reviews. Kisses and hugs, guys. Bye. bye.